One of the great things about the Leelanau Montessori is it is a public school academy, which means that it's tuition free. Also, it's really nice to be here on the Suttons Bay Public Schools campus. Because we are here, we also have things that many charter schools won't have, and we have a gymnasium, we have access to a library, we have opportunities for our students like music, they can be in band and choir. A lot of those things aren't available at other schools, but because of our unique location, we can offer these things. All of our teachers are certified by the state of Michigan, and they're also Montessori certified. And what's more important is they are all lifetime learners. They are asking for more professional development opportunities, and they participate in education opportunities for themselves. We have several teachers right now seeking advanced degrees. They are great. I can't say enough about them.
I fell in love with the Montessori program. Maria Montessori has a wonderful understanding of children and their learning process. And as she worked with children, she discovered that there's planes of learning, and she realizes there's windows of learning that they're sponges, they just can't get enough. And then there are other times where they're still learning, but they're not as absorbent. And there's certain times that we want to develop whatever creativity we can to help inspire the learning to continue.
It provides an education for the whole child, the nurturing and respectful way that the adults and children treat one another. It's an authentic community. It honors all the different modes of learning, so that joyful way that your child and your grandchildren go about their day, that is something that is fostered within the school environment.
I teach at in the primary classroom at Leelanau Montessori, which is a 3 to 6 year old classroom. So we have kindergartners and preschools in the same classroom. And that works beautifully because the older children can really mentor the younger children and help them zip their coats and tie their shoes and give them some lessons. And we really talk a lot about respect in our classroom. We respect the children. We help the children learn skills to communicate with each other so that they can get along well and have a loving environment.
A child had come over to another group of children and asked if they could play too. And one of our a couple of them said, sure, there's always room for one more. And that's a pattern language that we teach to encourage them to have that positive community, and that we don't exclude anybody and they're always welcome.
I love this school. My children loved this school. When you walk into Leelanau Montessori, you know that it's different. It is a positive place for kids. The children are joyful and happy, and you can tell the minute you walk in the door.
We have a lot of things in the classroom that allow them to begin writing before they are even finished beginning reading. So the sand tray is basically a tray with colored sand in it, and they trace the letters in the sand tray and speak the letter. We say A says A, B says B, C says K. And as we speak that, we also trace it in the sand. So there's that sensorial piece before they're even able to hold a pencil where they can begin to write. I have many children that read in the primary classroom, and some of them are as young as 3.5, 4. 5-year-olds are, yes, they're well into reading, and they're decoding and encoding words, and they're putting sentences together, and they're doing what we call research, where they can use the movable alphabet to build sentences about sharks or dinosaurs or horses, if that's their interest. If they're not writing and holding a pencil, they're still writing and they're still reading. They just do it in a different way. And we also establish that freedom with responsibility. So the children are free to choose the work or choose the lessons that they want to learn, but they also have the responsibility to complete the work and make it beautiful for the next person before they put it back on the shelf. So once they've mastered the lesson that I've given, I know that they are ready for the next. And it's very easy to tell when they've mastered it because the look on their face is just beaming. Then they can come and they walk over and they say, I did it. And I always say, I knew you could.
You know, the Montessori elementary child wants to know their place in society, wants to know what it is that they are supposed to be doing. And so in elementary and upper elementary is an example, you create your own groups. You get this social group and that social group. They create their rules, their laws of the land in their classroom, and what works and what doesn't work and what they need to tweak and what doesn't need to tweak. And really that then is, the hope is that you have this child that's ready for learning what their place is in society and being a successful member of society. That's the hope. And you know, Montessori said most of the education, most of the learning that a person ever does is between the ages of 6 and 12. And that upper elementary is the capstone of that learning experience.
They do a lot of research work in the elementary years where they ask the questions, why? Well, let me show you how you can find that. And they can go and explore and find the answers to their questions. And that there's no end to what they can explore and learn on their own.
We have lots of hands-on materials, and geometry is a good example of very manipulative hands-on materials. And we were doing some equivalence work, and that child gets to hold in their hand two pieces to determine, are they similar, are they congruent, equivalent, what makes them equivalent. And I could tell them the definition of equivalent, but I didn't have to tell them. Instead, they could just pull the pieces out, they could show themselves what's equivalent and what's not, and be able to determine just by looking and manipulating the materials what the rule is. Even though they might not be able to say the rule yet, they will eventually get to that point.
Another student we have, we use some assistive technology. So what he's been working on for his goals have been to work on reading and spelling. It's really difficult for him in writing. So we've incorporated a typewriter. It's an easy word, it's called. And when he types in it, if he types a word wrong, let's say if he wanted to write the word today and he wrote T-O-D-Y, it would give him predictions of 5 different spellings. He could go up to it, click on the right one, and it actually verbalizes it. So it'll say today, tomorrow, tomato. It'll do all the different guessing that they thought he was trying to spell, and he can click on the right one. And when we analyzed it, we found that his spelling with this machine improved up to 95%.
Part of the Montessori philosophy is that we like to have hands-on opportunities for the students to learn. So it's real important for us to get out into the community for some opportunities for this learning. One of the learning opportunities that we like to take advantage of, because it's right in our backyard, is the Inland Seas Education Association. They have a school ship. The school ship is really fun, and we have an opportunity for the children to learn about water chemistry, and they learn about fish and navigation, and they learn about benthos, which is the mud at the bottom of the lake, and they really learn about stewardship of our inland seas, our great resource that we have here. And the wonderful thing about the inland seas is that it's right in our backyard.
My name is Tom Kelly. I'm the Executive Director of the Inland Seas Education Association here in Suttons Bay. And the Inland Seas Education Association is a nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to teaching young people about the Great Lakes in terms of science and also on how to take care of the Great Lakes. And so I think we've made a real difference in a lot of kids' lives, and we have a good time doing it too.
We know who the children are that are coming up. We know the children that are moving on. Many of these children, their primary teacher is still here. And that's really lovely because we really get to know each child as a person.
I really enjoy just getting to know all the kids. The kids are very unique here at Montessori. I find them being very open, very compassionate, very understanding with each other. And it comes from the staff, it comes from the atmosphere of Montessori, and it comes from the children that are here.
I like working at Leelanau Montessori School because I feel that every day I'm being given the gifts. There's an energy that comes from these children. When you see the look upon a face of a child who grasps a concept, some concepts where they're multiplying into the millions by 2 or 3 digits and they're in first grade. And when you see them getting this, that, oh my gosh, I understand this. This is crystal clear. And you see them beam, and you feel the energy that comes from them. It's a reward for me every day to be around that type of an environment. It's a very encouraging environment. It's a very supportive environment from the children to the staff. It's a delightful place to be.
When I walked into the classroom and I saw 3, 4, and 5-year-olds almost silently all working together on their own little projects, it was just amazing that they could all be so focused and so quiet, yet all engaged at the same time. And in visiting other schools again, I've really just made the decision that this is really where we want to be. And so I'm now confident in making that commitment through 6th grade.
I think it's really important when you're trying to choose a school that you come and visit the school. And when you come and visit the Leelanau Montessori, you're going to find that it's really a different environment. The learning style is different, and I think that you'll find after you've been here that you're really excited about the program and that you'll really want your students to come here and be with us every day. It's a great place to be. At Leelanau Montessori, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of love. When you come in the classroom, you'll feel the excitement that the students have for learning. Just come through our doors, come and visit us, and you'll feel it too.